know what the universe hears when you doubt yourself? Nothing. Because silence has a frequency, too. Right now, millions of people are begging for change, praying for signs, repeating affirmations, yet their lives never move. Not because they are weak, not because they are unlucky, but because the universe is not responding to their words. It's responding to their signal. And that signal is built from one thing: self-worth. You can say, "I am ready," 1,000 times. But if your body is still carrying the vibration of, "I am not enough," the field around you hears the truth beneath your words. When your self-worth is low, your frequency flickers. It sends out a distorted signal, unstable, hesitant, unclaimed. The field hesitates back. But when you remember who you were before the world made you doubt it, your entire frequency changes. You become coherent, radiant, magnetic. You don't chase. You draw in. Self-worth isn't ego. It isn't loud. It is the quiet, unshakable signal that tells the universe, "I deserve to exist. I am already chosen. I am already aligned. Send what belongs to me." And when that frequency activates, reality has no choice but to respond. You are not here to earn the universe's approval. You were born from its light. Every time your frequency of self-worth rises, reality doesn't reward you. It recognizes you. Doors open without you knocking. People feel your presence before you speak. Opportunities that were always there suddenly step forward. Not because they appeared, but because you finally started broadcasting on the channel where they exist. This isn't mysticism. This is resonance. The intersection of quantum biology and ancient remembrance. Every atom in your body is listening right now. When you think, "I am not ready," your cells respond as if it were a command. They constrict, they dim. Your energy field tightens to match that smaller truth. But when you command, "I am worthy of peace, of joy, of abundance," the field expands. Your cells begin to release biophotons, literal light. And when that light becomes coherent, the universe doesn't hesitate. It says, "She remembers." You were never a small story stumbling through random events. You are a frequency modulator in a living universe. Self-worth is the dial. And today, you are taking your hand back and placing it on that dial. Pause. Music swell. Visual cue. Glowing golden field expanding outward. Remember this. No one can give you worth. They can only mirror the worth you've already activated. The moment you stop begging the world to validate you is the moment your internal signal becomes louder than the noise around you. And that is the moment everything starts to shift. Let the old frequencies fall away. The guilt, the comparison, the apology for existing. They were never truth. They were interference. This is the day you return to broadcast strength. This is the day your soul declares, "Enough of dimming. I was made to shine." You are not just a person. You are a transmitter. Right now, your body is broadcasting a signal into the fabric of reality, whether you realize it or not. And of all the organs you carry, it is not your brain that sends the strongest signal. It's your heart. According to the HeartMath Institute, your heart generates an electromagnetic field 60 times stronger than the brain, powerful enough to extend several feet beyond your body, interacting with the field of the earth itself. That means your emotions are not just feelings. They are broadcast codes. When you feel shame, your heart's field collapses inward. Your signal distorts. When you feel love, that field expands outward, steady and coherent. And in that moment, your heart literally synchronizes with the frequency of the planet. This is not philosophy. This is measurable physics. So ask yourself, if your signal is this powerful, what have you been broadcasting without realizing it? When you think, "I am not enough," your electromagnetic rhythm becomes jagged. Your cells begin to lose communication. Your entire field falls out of coherence with the universe that is trying to flow through you. But when you soften, even slightly, when you whisper, "Maybe I am worthy of peace," the signal begins to repair. Your nervous system calms, your field expands, and you move from survival mode into creation mode. This is why miracles don't respond to force. They respond to coherence. Think of yourself as an instrument of light. Every belief is a tuning fork vibrating through your field. When those beliefs clash, you experience anxiety, confusion, resistance. When they resonate, you feel peace, not as emptiness, but as total alignment. And alignment is magnetic. Here is the universal law. The world you experience is a mirror, reflecting the frequency you broadcast most consistently. If your inner signal is, I am less than, your external world will present evidence to confirm it, not to punish you, but to help you see the signal you've been transmitting. People who challenge your worth aren't blocking your path. They are measuring your frequency. They are the test that asks, will you dim or will you stabilize? Self-worth is not built through praise. It is built every time you refuse to abandon yourself when praise disappears. Each time you hold your light in the darkness, your signal becomes clearer, louder, unstoppable. You no longer chase approval. You broadcast truth. And truth attracts what is aligned and repels what is not. And here's something most people never learn. People respond to your frequency long before they respond to your words. Conversations begin before you ever speak. Doors start opening or closing before your hand reaches for them. Your energy enters the room first and declares, this is who I am, and this is how the universe will treat me. This is not arrogance, this is remembrance. Worth does not beg. It does not compete, it simply is. And when you align with it, you stop clinging to anything that cannot vibrate with your truth, which is why healing often looks like losing people, losing jobs, losing old identities. It's not rejection, it's frequency correction. So breathe, place a hand over your heart. Feel that subtle hum beneath your fingers. That is not just biology. That is your cosmic antenna. It is the universe speaking through your cells, saying, I am here. I am listening. I am you. Your only task is to keep the channel clear. Feed your field thoughts that nourish it. Speak to yourself as one would speak to the child they swore to protect. Because the body hears every word, and energy responds to belief. This is the science of self-worth. Light responding to love, frequency responding to truth. Somewhere between childhood and now, we stopped knowing our worth and started performing for it. We learned that smiles earned approval, good grades earned love, silence earned safety. So we began trading authenticity for acceptance. Not because we were weak, but because as children we had no other choice. A child cannot believe love is broken, so they believe they must be. That was the first fracture in your frequency. The moment you began dimming your signal just to survive, it wasn't your fault. You were tuning yourself to match the environment you were given. You learned to shrink when punished, to please when ignored, to disappear when your truth wasn't safe. Those patterns were not weaknesses. They were survival codes. They saved you then, but they are costing you energy now. They still live inside you as tiny static fields, silent interference that whispers, be careful. Don't be too much, don't shine too bright. And the modern world feeds that static. It profits from your insecurity. Every advertisement, every filtered post, every social metric is designed to sell you back the worth you were born with. But self-worth is not something you can acquire. It is something you remember. The alchemy of seeing clearly. Close your eyes for a moment. Listen to the voices that told you who you were supposed to be. Teachers, parents, partners, systems. Religion, media, let them speak. Not to obey them, but to witness how loud they've been. Now ask yourself, which of these voices truly knew my soul before it was shaped by fear? Which voice looked at me and saw sacredness, not expectation? Most of them didn't. They were speaking from their own fractures. Their pain tried to program your frequency. And here is your liberation. Once you see that, you stop inheriting their wounds. You begin to speak a new language, the language of inner sovereignty. You no longer ask, am I good enough? You ask, does this honor the truth in me? Because every time you abandon yourself to make someone else comfortable, your field dims. And every time you choose yourself, even when your voice shakes, your field brightens. Self-worth is not a single belief. It's 1,000 micro-choices that tell your body, I will not leave you again. You don't have to fight the old world. You simply stop feeding it your energy. Visual reset, gentle rain or piano, followed by light breaking through clouds. Old programs are like ghosts. They only exist because you keep calling their name. You keep repeating their thoughts. The moment you choose silence, the ghosts fade, the static clears. And your true signal, your original frequency, begins to rise like sunlight after a storm. The truth returns. This is why healing feels lonely at first. Because silence is not emptiness. It is clarity returning. And clarity reveals what never truly loved you. What was only attached to the dimmed version of you. You were never unworthy. You were surrounded by people who forgot their own light, so they could not reflect yours back. But the field never forgot you. Your energetic signature remained intact beneath every wound, waiting for you to remember. Every tear, every heartbreak, every dark night of the soul was not your destruction. It was your recalibration. The universe was not punishing you, it was tuning you, detaching you from what could never meet your true frequency. And now, you can feel it, can't you? The static is fading, your signal is clearing. The hum beneath your chest is rising in coherence. Your real worth is awakening. You don't reclaim your worth by becoming more. You reclaim it by releasing what was never yours. You are not a broken signal waiting to be fixed. You are a clear channel, temporarily covered in dust. Your task is not to build yourself. It is to remember yourself. The daily recalibration starts small. Before the world reaches for you, before the notifications, the comparison, the noise, place a hand over your heart and whisper. Today, I tune to truth. No dramatic rituals. No burning sage on mountaintops. Frequency does not respond to theatrics. It responds to sincerity. Every conscious breath, every boundary honored, every meal eaten with gratitude is not just self-care. It is neurological. I am worth the peace I choose. Visual cue, golden energy expanding in rhythmic pulses from the heart. Imagine your frequency as a golden pulse. With every kind thought toward yourself, that pulse expands. It doesn't end at your skin. It ripples into your environment, shaping how reality interacts with you. People feel it, not because of what you say, but because your energy has stopped apologizing for existing. You are no longer reaching outward for validation. You are radiating inward truth. The power of coherent presence. This is why a single calm person can shift an entire room. Their field is coherent, stable, ordered, magnetic. Chaos cannot dominate in the presence of coherence. It naturally softens. You don't persuade people to respect you. Your frequency trains them. Worth that must be explained is not worth. It is performance. True worth sits like a mountain, silent and undeniable. Brief pause, invitation to embodiment. And when you forget, because you will, come back to the body. The mind questions, the mind doubts. But the body remembers. It carries the memory of every moment you have survived, every time you rose when you were sure you couldn't. That is sacred evidence. You were always enough. What it means to reclaim frequency. To reclaim your frequency is to stop outsourcing your peace. It is choosing stillness over noise, truth over trend, presence over perfection. It is saying, not to the world, but to yourself. I will not abandon myself to be accepted. I will not dim my light to be understood. Every time you choose yourself, your signal sharpens. The universe hears it instantly and responds through synchronicities, divine timing, and quiet whispers that say, yes. Keep going, you're tuning correctly. The more you live from worth, the more the field rearranges around you. This is how realities shift not by force, but by frequency. The old world said, hustle, strive, prove. The new frequency says, remember, align, radiate. You are not separate from creation. You are its living pulse. And when you honor your worth, life stops testing you and starts reflecting you. Living in the frequency. When you begin to live in the frequency of self-worth, life does not change in loud explosions. It changes in quiet precision. Not because you are suddenly lucky, but because coherence always organizes chaos. A clear frequency naturally calls order into form. The shift begins quietly. When your energy stabilizes, you stop attracting what drains you and begin magnetizing what aligns with your truth. Relationships built on power imbalance or emotional dependency will begin to dissolve, not through drama, but through energetic incompatibility. They simply cannot anchor to a field that no longer vibrates in fear or lack. Some people will say, you've changed. What they really feel is, I can no longer feed on your doubt. It is not distance. It is resonance calibrating to its rightful level. Purpose begins to pull you forward. Work feels different too. Tasks that once felt heavy lose their grip. What aligns with your purpose begins to feel effortless, as if life is quietly clearing pathways ahead of you. This is the current of worth. It doesn't push. It carries. Visual cue. River carrying golden leaves downstream with ease. The clarity of the body. In this state, decision-making becomes effortless. No more bargaining with your intuition. No more justifying your boundaries. You simply listen to the subtle eyes, or know inside your body, and you honor it as sacred instruction. The body doesn't speak with words. It speaks with resonance. When the field is smooth, you are aligned. When it tightens, you are abandoning yourself. Living in worth doesn't mean you never doubt. It means you recognize doubt as static, not identity. You breathe, you retune, you return. Your very presence becomes instruction. Imagine moving through the world as a tuning fork of calm certainty. Every person you pass begins to adjust. Their heart rate slows, their nervous system softens. You never have to convince anyone of anything. Your frequency teaches without words. This is the true service of a soul in self-worth. They are walking embodiments of remembrance. They recalibrate the collective field simply by being home within themselves. This is how revolutions of consciousness begin, not through noise, but through resonance. Love and abundance become baseline reality. When you live in worth, you no longer search for proof that you are loved. Love becomes your resting vibration. It moves through your eyes, your silence, your breath. People feel safe in your presence because you are safe within yourself. Money begins to flow not because you chase it, but because abundance recognizes its own signature in your field. Opportunities appear without force. Time stretches to match your inner peace. You begin to notice small miracles everywhere. A breeze arriving at the perfect moment, a stranger's smile that answers a silent prayer, a song that begins exactly when your heart needs it. Because when one person remembers their worth, 1,000 others remember through them. And when enough of us remember, the world itself begins to heal. Guided activation, anchor the frequency. Now, if you can, close your eyes, place a hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own touch, the undeniable truth that you are here, alive, chosen by existence itself. Take a slow breath in. Visualize a golden light entering the crown of your head, pouring down through your throat into your heart. Let it gather behind your hands like a rising sun. Hold that breath. Feel the light expanding inside you, not as something new, but as something ancient awakening. Now exhale and see that golden light radiating beyond your skin, forming a luminous field all around you. This is your true frequency, stable.pure. Sovereign, breathe into it once more and, in silence or aloud, repeat, I am not searching. I am remembering. I am the frequency of worth. We don't just find the light, we become the light.